Hey guys, I want to take a minute and talk about some of our nonfiction readers. I am super excited about these books because I think there are a lot of kids who don't get into fiction. They're not into stories as much at a certain age, especially the elementary, junior high age, and they start to fall off with reading because they don't really find stories or fiction that interest them. But I think a lot of times you can capture those kids and get them back into reading if you find books that are topics of what they are more into, which are more nonfiction. So we've got these great nonfiction readers. They're these sort of smaller books. I think they're super great. They come for $4.99, and they come in all these different subjects: caterpillars and butterflies. These are for like younger readers. Snakes, great for early elementary. You can see by the text in here like about what age could do well with this book. You know your kid and what works for them. Or we even have them for, there's an older series of nonfiction readers for older readers. I love these because these are like really cool subjects like drones and fighter planes and spies and all that kind of cool stuff. And they even have in them like these graphic novel style art along with real photos and all this great data and information about these subjects. Again, I think these are great subjects for kids that are into something other than fiction, or maybe they like both, but it's just going to get them into something new. Be the Change, Make It Happen is a really cool book that I'm excited about. It's all about being a part of the world and making a difference in the world around you. So it's got all these great suggestions of things that kids can do, kind of challenges of how they can help people around them, help the world. I love this book. I think it's just a cool concept to give to young elementary age, middle school kids and kind of challenge them to do the challenges in it. I'm a huge fan of the Usborne Science Encyclopedia. We have a lot of great science books. We've got some great science activity books and some various encyclopedias, but these are just really rich encyclopedias with all kinds of information covering all sorts of subjects in the area of science. And what's even cooler about them is you can see on every page there's a QR code. You can, scan that with your phone, with your QR reader, and it's going to link you to internet links about the same subject. So we all know kids today are studying a lot of stuff off the internet. So this gives them a physical book where they can start and then they can go from there into the internet and look at some more things. So I really love that. It comes with that internet link. These are some cool books. We have some cool books for like younger elementary kids. Or even younger kids, some of our they're flat books, which I think are fun. But this is like a cool one that's all about exploration and discovery. So it's a lot of history and a little bit of mix of history and geography in this one because it talks about just the concept of exploration in the history of the world and how different continents were explored and quote unquote discovered. As we all know, usually there were already people there, but I still think it's a cool concept. It even goes all the way into space and deep sea and how we still have things to discover. And then it's lift the flap, so the kids can, as they're looking at things, they can open up these flaps and find more information. So these are great books for young elementary kids. We've got a lot of fun with the flap books. We have lift the flap books for little kids too, but I really love these. Here's another one that's a lift the flap, but it's all about computers and coding. I probably need to read this one because while I use all of my devices, I don't really know how they work. So this is a really cool one. We also have a book that's just all about, I don't have it yet, but it's all about coding. Like we have a book where they can actually start to learn how to do some basic coding using Scratch, whatever that is. If you know what that is, then you're smarter than I am, but it's a coding language. But this is another lift the flap book that I think would be really interesting for a kid that's into computers and likes to know how things work. Here's one that's for your English geeky kid like me. It's Where's Will? This is a great introduction to Shakespeare for young kids. I love this book. So this is technically, I guess it's not nonfiction because it's about Shakespeare's plays, but it's not the actual plays. It's summaries of the plays done in, again, like a cartoon style where they just get the quick summary. Here's As You Like It, a play that I love and performed in high school. Not that that matters. And then you have like a Where's Waldo style page after each play description where you have to find Will Shakespeare. And it covers a whole bunch of Shakespeare's plays. I just think this is a really cool book. We actually have a couple of different books that give great summaries of Shakespeare and kind of introduce kids to that language. But that's just a couple of our nonfiction, some of the great things that I think we have available. I'd love for you to check out more of our nonfiction stuff.